Doug, I want to talk a little bit about maybe some of the misconceptions about moving workloads into the cloud, because I hear this a lot when I talk to customers is, I'm moving into this cloud provider and they have a whole bunch of native tools. Why aren't the native tools enough?
And a lot of people think that they've dealt with the risk by putting it. You can never. The risk remains with you as an organization if you're putting things into a cloud environment. And yes, they do provide some controls, right? But we spoke about multi-cloud earlier and those different environments. Azure's controls are different to AWS's, are different to Google's, are different to whatever other Oracle provides, whoever the other cloud providers are that are out there. You're going to get that kind of complexity immediately if you try and do those things. And one should never think of it that way. Yes, if they have controls you can use, absolutely use those as part of what you're doing. The other common thing that I think people think is, oh, I've got all these controls in place within my environment, so it'll be the same as it is for cloud. Right?
It's an interesting one. I think about the amount of effort and infrastructure that organizations and security controls that organizations have put in place on-prem. And I'm not saying that needs to be duplicated in a cloud, but I often find that when we move to cloud, it's, well, we're maybe taking a step backwards. We're not getting the same effectiveness from the solutions that it's almost like organizations are willing to take a little bit of a step back.
There is a need to implement some of those control points, I'd rather call them, than the technologies themselves, because it's often been hardware based on-prem or in their own environment. So now we're dealing with these hyper-scaled, hyper-distributed models. And so that doesn't fit, but that doesn't mean the concept of what you're trying to do in terms of firewalling your data. It doesn't mean you need a physical firewall that you're going to try and find where AWS hosts their stuff. That's not. It's going to be a virtualized version of that, or a cloud-driven control that delivers the same outcomes, like an enforcement gateway, which one could say is a firewall. Probably more application aware because it's running in an environment hosting application. All those good things. So those are the considerations that I think, as you say, you have these on-prem controls. You have to keep, if you're going to keep running things where they are, and you need to keep those controls in place. They're not wasted investments. You still got them, but you need to consider the cloud environments in the same way from a concept perspective, more than physical hardware and so on.
And it's also bringing the consistency in, because you're still going to be some elements of on-prem. You're going to have 1, 2 multi-cloud environments, and the reality of it is you don't want to get in a situation where you're using one cloud provider's tools here, another cloud provider's tools over here, and all of a sudden you've got multi-sets of tools that you've got to manage, or control points, as you put it.
Yes.
You're really looking for that control plane across everything.
Yes. I touched on this briefly on one of the earlier points we were discussing, and that's where I was talking about taking that abstraction layer, what we can do to actually abstract from the different cloud environments. So apply one policy that is actually able to translate that to the different cloud environments using tooling provided by Cisco, for example, through our multi-cloud defense offering, using the new Hypershield offering, which will only be available from the end of July this year. But things like that can be applied in cloud environments are hugely useful, because they will be able to talk to those different platforms and actually consolidate some of that effort for you. Plus, of course, we also spoke earlier about AI and things. We've applied those tools into what we're doing there. So we're trying to make it easier to actually be able to get the visibility you need, apply the controls, and actually make sure that it's doing what it needs to do.
So it's not about removing on-prem tools. It's about kind of extending the function and capability of those control points into the multi-cloud environment, and that's what you bring to the table.
Yes, absolutely. And so you hit the nail on the head. I want nothing further to add there.
Perfect place for us to end, Doug. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
If you'd like to engage with one of our security experts focused on Cisco, please go to data3.com/Cisco Security.